You know what? This month has been good for Nintendo Switch owners. Welcome back to Couple Questions. Today we're going to do a good old haul video in which I'm going to talk about what Nintendo Switch games, or well, Nintendo Switch 2 games, I have been picking up. So grab yourself a new cup of tea, let's have a look at Nintendo Switch titles, shall we? The first title is the Plucky Squire, and this was an Amazon Prime deal a few weeks ago in which this title got dropped down. I think it was about 13 or 14 pounds, and you know what, this is one that I actually have had my eye on for some time. It came out and I remember it being hyped up a little bit, but then kind of struggled a little bit. I think the Switch version wasn't nearly as good as the PlayStation version. It did have a very expensive collector's edition, but if I'm honest, I don't really collect collector's editions outside of the odd one or two, like the HoloLive one there. So Plucky Squire is an interesting title. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Paper Mario, in which you kind of have your own little character drawn, and it's like a 3D platformer, but it's also in the confines of a book. But then you can go out of the book, and then you can draw little things in the book to kind of help you move along the way. It kind of is what you would expect from I wouldn't say a Paper Mario game, but it's kind of, if you replace this with Mario, I think you would kind of still have a very Paper Mario game in essence. It just doesn't have the whole turn-based thing. Maybe more like Super Paper Mario, or we don't talk about the other one, Color Splash. But yeah, I haven't had a good chance with this one. I've seen a lot of reviews, I've seen a few gameplay elements of it, a few people playing it, and I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm hoping that the Switch version does hold up. Next up is probably the most controversial release of the year, and it's also one of the best selling games of the year and one of the best selling physical games of the year. That's right, Pokémon Z-A. Now, I'm going to be honest, I enjoy the Pokemon franchise. I don't enjoy it as much as the nostalgic goggles from Red, Gold, Ruby, Sapphire, and that at that time kind of holds up. I did enjoy Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I've enjoyed most of them enough. I don't like Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield in Scarlet and Violet I got decent time out of, but Legends Arceus was one of my favourites, and this is another Legends game. And this is Pokémon Z-A, in which we go back to the world of X and Y. And while Arceus, or is it Arceus? Arceus, let me know in the comments what you pronounce it as. That had more of a catch motif. This is more about the battles, and that's good for me because I did think that the battles were quite lacking on the Arceus side. And I'm going to be honest, I've had a really good time with this. This is probably the most fun I've actually had with a Pokemon game in a long time. And it's one of those games where it's like, I know it's had a lot of negative attention, but I'm going to be honest, when it comes to playing games, the main thing for me is fun. Am I having fun with it? Yeah. I did everything I could in this game and had a great time. Is it the best game in the world? Nah, it's not. It doesn't even pretend to be. Could it be better? Absolutely. It could absolutely be a lot better than what they've put out. But I still had a really good time with it, and I'm happy with my purchase. Like I say, it's one of those games, Pokemon is one of those franchises where you kind of either you love it or you hate it. But yeah, if I'm honest, Pokémon Z-A, it was good. I like the characters in it. It was a nice, decent selection of Pokemon in there. I used a lot of Pokemon that I wouldn't use otherwise. And the battle system was really genuinely fun. I had a really good time with it. Next up is two titles for the collection. And honestly, these are two titles that I would actually genuinely play. And I can cross off my Nintendo Switch list to pick up. This is Trails of Graces F and Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. Now, these were both picked up from the game collection. Nearly everything I pick up when I default to game collection because of their points back system. So you spend so much and you get points that you can use off future games, and they are pretty competitive when it comes to pricing. They do have the odd title that just like you get you like £10 cash back. But yeah, it's a good deal. So these were both £10, I believe. I'm going to be honest, Trails of Grace's F. I really enjoyed this. I played through this on the PlayStation 3 and I played through it a few times, but I'm going to be honest, I trophy hunted it back in the day. I'll go back to it. This is probably the last time I really enjoyed a Tales of game as well. I don't know what it is, that franchise just kind of died off for me. But yeah, 10 quid for decent to good JRPG, yeah. And Story of Seasons is another Harvest Moon game. I'm missing, I think it's the Friends of Mineral Town one, otherwise I do have a full Story of Seasons collection. Actually, I'm missing the new one, the Grand Bazaar as well for the Switch 2. I have noticed on Amazon Prime deals that has been dropping down, so I will pick that up eventually. But yeah, I will go to Trails of Grace's eventually, but I think it kind of released and then just so many other games kind of came out at the same time. It's been a very busy month for me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking these ones up and trying them again sometime. Like I said, they're both good games. They're both good games, and for £10 each, you're always laughing. Next up, we had not one, but 2 Zelda arrivals. Now, I'm not sure how I'm working for the Nintendo Switch 2. I was originally going to try and get every single physical, but I'm going to be honest, there's a few titles that I didn't really want to pick up. Mario Jamboree, I didn't really want to pick up Kirby again. If I see them cheap, I will get them, but I'm not paying full price. And there's a few other titles, and I don't want to be kind of linked to the whole thing that if I'm going for a full collection, I don't have to buy every bad game to support the good ones. At the moment, I'm still key card free, but I'm going to be honest, that's probably going to change. I'm not happy about it, but I'm also kind of being very realistic in that I am not going to skip games I want to play because they're either digital or game key card only. So it's unfortunate, but I will pick them up every now and again. I'm not going to prioritise them. I will always prioritise a full physical release. But we're waffling. What did I get? I got Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I played Tears of the Kingdom a few years ago, and honestly, it was a fantastic experience, and probably would have been my game of the year that year if I hadn't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But Tears of the Kingdom is well, it's not the spiritual successor, it is the successor to Breath of the Wild, which I did pick up not so long ago, and I tried, and yeah, I had a good time again with it on the Switch 2. There's not really much in terms of, this is definitely a kind of a collection piece, and this is something I am trying to go for. I'm trying to go for a full Zelda collection because I realise I'm maybe 5 games away from having every single Zelda release. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. It's a good game. I haven't played the Switch 2 version, but I'm assuming it's still a good game. But we also had, the same day arrived, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, the spin-off to Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, so Hyrule Warriors is one of those franchises that I just can't help but enjoy. It is another Warriors title in which you basically play as an overpowered character going around and absolutely destroying tons and tons of mobs. And if I'm honest, I have found the original Hyrule Warriors and the Age of Calamity one were some of the best Warriors titles. So I had to pick up Age of Imprisonment, and honestly, it's great. It's really good. If you like Warriors titles, you're going to have a good time with this one. I did feel like it was, I wouldn't say content light, I did get to the end credits, but there is still plenty more content. Well, I just found one, because you can unlock all the characters as it goes on, and there wasn't Hyrule Warriors had you get Ganon at the end, so you had a little Ganon campaign, whereas this one doesn't, and I kind of was a little bit disappointed with that. I understand that there is supposed to be some updates as we go along with this, so I've kind of parked it for now. Same with Mario Kart World, I parked it for now. Once we get some more updates, there's a reason to come back. Because I know with Pirate Warriors, they do keep releasing characters and characters and characters, but they didn't release any new maps or anything like that, so I'm like, why get more characters to play the same maps I've already played? If it's the same for Hyrule Warriors, even if it's free content, if it's free characters, I'm not going to go back and play it when I've done everything else just to see, oh yeah, I've played as this character. Brilliant. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. Like I said, it's one of those titles you either love the franchise or you don't. If you don't like Warriors games, you're not going to get much mileage from it. If you do like it, you're going to have a great time. I enjoyed it and I'm happy to go back to it once more content becomes available. Next up is one that I had some excitement for, and I've yet to play it, but this is a really nice addition. This is Crow Country. Now, I'm going to be honest, the Fangamer titles give me a little bit of FOMO. Some of the Fangamer releases have started to increase in price, so because we are getting some fantastic indie titles released to us as Fangamer versions, I am definitely having to pick them up. Crow Country is a Resident Evil style survival horror taking place in a theme park about crows. And it very much is a harkness back to that original way of playing survival horrors. Limited saves, limited ability to save, limited ammo, dodgy tank controls, for better or for worse. This is very much a classic survival horror game. I'm looking forward to trying it out a little bit more. Also, it comes with some very, very, very nice extras. The other title I picked up was Pizza Tower. Now, this is another Fangamer one, and this is very much the spiritual successor to the Wario Land franchise. Now, I actually did play through Wario Land 3 a few months ago on the Game Boy Color and had a decent time with it. I didn't love it, but I had a good enough time with it. And Pizza Tower is one that was hyped up and played by a lot of streamers a few years ago, so I had to pick it up. You play as this very scared looking Italian chef and have to go through various platforming sections in this tower. If you like the classic gameplay of Wario Land, you're going to have a good time with this. I found it a little bit frustrating. The difficulty with this one is very high. I just kind of felt that it's one of those ones where I was playing it and just wasn't getting any better. And I kind of felt that I kind of got blocked by the first boss for so long that what started off as an enjoyable title ended up became something more frustrating and annoying. Once I did beat the first boss, I kind of went on to the second world, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not enjoying this as much as I should be. So I kind of parked it for now. I'm going to try it again. I like the idea of the visuals for this, but I'm also going to be like, I don't know, I kind of felt I was getting a little bit of a headache when I was playing through them. I don't know what it was. I think the very rough and messy style of drawing just kind of didn't work particularly for me. I think it's going to be one that's going to be beloved in the future, and I think it's one that's beloved by a lot of people, but it's simply just something that I just bounced off a little bit of, really, sadly. But yeah, good enough game, but I think I could have enjoyed it more. Next up is a title that I actually bought in order to get a free delivery. I had to order something rather urgent, and in order to get same delivery I had to pay £20 for it. So I was like, oh, what games have we got? Oh, this one's on sale. It's Ys. Ys Memoire, The Orphan Felghana. Now, I'm going to be honest, I played the Ys titles. I played the Ys Origin ones. I played the Ys one on the PlayStation Vita, which I believe is getting a Switch version. I played Ys 8 and 9 and absolutely loved them. I haven't had a chance to play this one. This is one that released, I think, at the beginning of the year, and because I constantly had something else to play, it kind of just got pushed back and pushed back. It was always one that I wanted to pick up, just never did. The Ys titles, I feel like, even with in terms of Falcon, they kind of get overshadowed by the Trails of series, but honestly, I've always had a good time with the Ys titles. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. I just kind of feel like it came out, got kind of like buried. It's went cheap a few times, so I kind of got a feeling that it's one that will become fairly expensive in the future, and if it doesn't, oh well, I've already got it. I'm looking forward to playing it, just haven't had the chance to yet. Very much looking forward to playing this one. Next up is a title based on a series of short videos by a comedy troupe. So we have Nice Day for Fishing. So this is the game based on the world of Epic NPC Man, a world made by the people of Viva La Dirt League, and it's a comedy series in which basically the NPCs get more self-aware, and it's a lot of very fun pokes at how daft a lot of RPG elements are and stuff like that. This is the game, and it's a fishing game. I'm going to be honest, I like fishing games. It's a full whack fishing game that doesn't have much else worth it. Well, actually, I'm actually really enjoying it. This came yesterday. I sank about an hour of it last night, and I had a really good time with it so far. I've heard it's probably quite easy, but it's a fishing game. But it's also like a platformer and like a bit of an RPG, but set in the world of Epic NPC Man. So if you like their skits, if you like their stuff, you're going to have a lot of good mileage in here. You play as obviously Balin the fisherman, and you kind of have to go on quests to basically catch fish and do other stuff. If you're like Dave the Diver, I think you might get a lot of mileage out of this one. But otherwise, if you like Epic NPC Man, I think this is going to be a fun one to pick up. Definitely a bit of an oddball title. It's one that I think just came out maybe this week, but yeah, I'm having a good time with it. And I think if you guys want to try something a little bit more different, you might have a good time with this one too. Maybe you might want to wait for a sale or something. I know it's out on digital as well. But yeah, if you like Epic NPC Man, check this one out. The next one is one that actually just popped through the door a few minutes ago, and I ordered a few things from Amazon Black Friday, and one of the titles that caught my eye was Gal Guardians Servants of the Dark. Now, I did pick up the original Gal Guardians game a few years ago when I got into Switch collecting, and it is a decent Metroidvania. It wasn't like anything amazing, but it was fun enough. A nice 7 out of 10 game, I think, what you kind of have. And yeah, this one was cheap, so I just picked it up. Another Metroidvania game, and you know what? I like Metroidvanias, and if I can get cheap Metroidvanias, I'm always going to add them to the collection. I can't really talk about it since it's literally just arrived in the post, but yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out. Before we get on to the last few titles, let me know what have you guys been picking up for the Nintendo Switch as of late. I've got plenty of other titles coming and other titles that have arrived, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them all out. I think this month is kind of the spending month. December's going to be the month where I kind of like play games, maybe. We've got Metroid Prime coming, so that's going to spend up a lot of time. I've got a few other stuff I've kept back for Christmas, like Dragon Quest as well, so I'm looking forward to more titles in the near future to pick up. But let me know what you've been picking up, and is there anything on this list that has caught your eye? I'm always happy to talk games, so if you want more information than what I've just said, let me know in the comments. The last two titles are two very hyped up titles are on the Nintendo Switch 2. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been in a weird position because I kind of feel like we had like Mario Kart World and then Cyberpunk on launch, who obviously had the Rune Factory game. Then there was like Donkey Kong, and then there kind of wasn't really much for a long time. Of course, I could have replayed like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that, but I kind of feel like once Donkey Kong came out and then kind of didn't have anything up until really Pokemon, a few re-releases here and there, but nothing like substantial. So now we're getting new games pretty much every week. So we've had Pokemon, then we had Hyrule Warriors, then we've got Metroid in a few weeks' time. But in the meantime, we've got Kirby. We've got Kirby Air Riders. Now, I do own Kirby Air Rider on the GameCube, and I thought it was kind of okay. I didn't think it was anything particularly amazing, but it wasn't bad either. But I kind of felt that I fell in love with how passionate Sakurai was with this particular title. You can tell that he has put a lot of energy into it, put a lot of his own motivation into it, and obviously it's kind of Nintendo throwing him a bone to kind of say, oh yeah, you can make this game and kind of do whatever you want with this game, while also kind of like, yeah, Smash is going to be your next big task. And I appreciate that. At the end of the day, I think he was very passionate about it, and you could tell that from the directs. I did play a bit of the like the demo for this, and I had a really good time with it. I was still on the fence of whether or not I wanted to pick it up, but I used all of my game collection credit to basically get this for like maybe like 25 quid. So I was just like, yeah, all that cash back, we'll get something a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I'm having a look forward to trying this one out and seeing how it ends up being. Do I have much hope for it? It's going to be one of my favourite titles? No, but I'm going to have a good time with it, and I know I'm going to have a good time with it. The other one is, well, it's Hades 2. So Hades 2 is weird because it's genuinely thrown around in a lot of Game of the Year comments and mentions, but I'm going to be honest, I've not heard anybody actually talk about this game, like, at all, which is strange. I know it's considered a better version of Hades, a title that was already really good, and I have sank a good 10-15 hours into that and absolutely enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, Nintendo Switch, it is a physical on the Nintendo Switch, and with how difficult and expensive Hades has become, I thought I'd pick this one up early while I can. I think it was £35, so can't really complain about that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm going to be honest, I'm really looking forward to this one. I have no idea how they can top Hades, so I'm going to look forward to seeing how they do it with Hades 2, because like I said, this is in just about every single Game of the Year shortlist, but I'm not seeing many people talk about it. And I think everybody who has talked about it has said it's a really good experience. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that one out. What have you guys been picking up? And if you did like this, leave a like and consider subscribing. I always love to talk Nintendo Switch to other people and see what people have been picking up, because I'm sure there's a lot of titles that I have missed out on. Let me know what you've been picking up, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.